Hey everyone, welcome back to Thoughtmosphere. So today we'll be exploring why I believe that we are in a re-accumulation phase right now. Quick disclaimer, nothing I say is financial advice. So what is re-accumulation? It is basically the consolidation phase that you have during a bull market after the rally, and then it crashes, and then after that it just goes sideways for a while, which is what we are seeing in Bitcoin right now, where it's just ranging between 30 to 40k at the moment. So here are 4 reasons why I think that we are in a re-accumulation phase right now. So the first one is the exchange net flow volume. Exchange net flow volume is basically the volume that is going in and out of exchanges. So if we look at this chart, when the volume is green, it basically means that there is more Bitcoin entering exchanges, and when it's red, it means that there's Bitcoin leaving exchanges, which could be a sign of re-accumulation. If we look at 2012 to 2013, this bull run, we had a re-accumulation phase. We had an initial rally up here, and then a correction, and then after that we had an accumulation phase or re-accumulation phase before the next rally. And then if we fast forward into 2016, we also had another re-accumulation phase over here where the volume was red and then the price was somewhat going sideways before another strong rally up. So right now, we are also seeing something similar. We have Bitcoin leaving exchanges all this while the price is going up. So these are the people who are re-accumulating. And then very recently, we have people who are moving Bitcoin into exchanges, probably to sell them. And that's causing the price of Bitcoin to drop. I believe that this re-accumulation phase after this re-accumulation phase, we will basically see Bitcoin go up again. And who are the people who are selling? So that's my next point. The total supply held by long-term holders versus short-term holders. So this chart basically shows the supply for long-term holders against the short-term holders. And the chart that is red in color is the short-term holders, and the one that is green is the long-term holders. So you can see that every time towards the top of the market, the short-term holders drastically go up. Short-term holders like to buy the top. So every time you see the short-term holders going crossing above the long-term holders, it's typically a topish signal. So it's something we should watch out for. And then after the market crash, we usually see a lot of short-term holders exiting, and then the long-term holders are the one that's buying them up. So that's what happened in 2018. It also happened around 2013, this period. And we are seeing the same thing right now in the market, where we have the long-term holders. The long-term holders are basically the one that is buying, while the short-term holders are the one that is selling. And this chart is further substantiated by my next chart, which is the long and short-term holder supply in profit and loss. So this chart might look a bit complicated, but it's basically made of four parts: the short-term holder profit, short-term holder loss, long-term holder loss, and long-term holder profit. So they all add up to 100% at all times. So basically what we want to see here is whether the long-term holder profit is increasing as well as the short-term holder loss is increasing. So if we look at 2013, we again see something similar where the short-term holder profit is very high and the short-term holder loss is at 0%. So this is usually where the short-term holders are in maximum profit and maximum euphoria. And that's also when the price would crash, because after all the short-term holders have bought, there is no one else to buy at very high prices, and then the market starts to tank because the long-term holders would start to sell. So you can notice that as the price goes up, you see the long-term holders actually reducing in the position because they are the ones that are selling. And then the short-term holders' losses would increase dramatically after a sell-off, which is the same thing that we are seeing here as well. The long-term holders are starting to increase again, while the short-term losses are skyrocketing. So this is usually a sign that short-term holders are selling and long-term holders are the ones that are buying. If you look at the short-term holder net unrealized profit or loss, this is basically a chart that shows you whether the short-term holders are buying or selling. and they are basically in capitulation phase. So a lot of them are in a loss right now, and they are still selling. So the short-term holders are in a lot of pain, and they are still selling. So the short-term holders that are selling are typically selling to the long-term holders, as shown in the previous charts. Yeah, so those are some factors that shows why the long-term holders are buying the Bitcoin that is being sold by the short-term holders, which is generally a sign of re-accumulation. And one last chart I want to take a look at is the Grayscale Premium, which is a premium for buying Grayscale stocks, which represents Bitcoin instead of Bitcoin. This is typically for institutions. So if we look at the Grayscale Premium, we can see that it has came down a lot. So this is also another top signal previously, right? When the Grayscale Premium is dropping as the price goes up, institutions are not buying anymore. Institutions are probably even selling. But what we are seeing here is a reversal pattern. It's a slight reversal pattern. It's not fully confirmed yet, but we are beginning to see potentially a reversal pattern at these prices, where the premium is making a higher low and a higher high. So if this continues, then it's a clear sign that institutions are beginning to buy Grayscale, which represents Bitcoin, and it's probably a good move, seeing that it's at a discount. So if institutions are coming in and buying it at a discount, they act as a buffer, and I believe institutions are generally smart money, so they are buying it when it's cheap. Yep, so in summary, the exchange net flow volume shows that we are in re-accumulation, and after this re-accumulation, hopefully we have a next run up, and the total supply held by long-term holders versus short-term holders is very clear-cut, that the long-term holders are the ones that are buying and the short-term holders are the ones that are selling. Yeah, and then the Grayscale Premium is showing that institutions are possibly starting to buy in again. So these factors are some of the reasons why I feel that we are in a re-accumulation phase. But these are not all the factors, so I might touch on more factors why I think we're in a re-accumulation phase in the future. Personally, what I'm doing is I am buying on dips every week. Sunday and Monday, Singapore time, is historically a good time to buy, and usually it starts to peak around Wednesday. So sometimes if I think we get a really hard pump, I do sell some if I feel that it is euphoric. Short-term euphoric. So that's a bit of short-term swing trading. It's an insignificant portion of my portfolio that I do that with. So the bulk of my portfolio is dollar cost averaging, where I just DCA and buy some every week. Additionally, I'm also writing options for additional income. I will go into more details on that in a future video. Basically, it's like selling puts, selling calls. And I am also continuing to farm liquidity for additional income during this period, which is a whole series that I'm thinking of talking about in the near future. Yep, that's all I have to share. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys like it. Remember to like and subscribe if you found it useful. Thank you.